SC-200 Microsoft Security Operations Analyst Exam Guide. We're going to get right into this. Check it out. It's coming up right now. Okay, hello and welcome everybody to another video on the channel. I am joined by my very, very good friend and colleague, Ben Thomas today, and this is a new exam guide series. It's been a while since we've done one on the channel, and this one is all about SC-200. And I've invited Ben to join me because Ben has done this exam and I have not. So I'm with you, the audience, on this one. I'm going to be learning along. I mean, some of this I know, but a lot of this I don't. So I figured we'll get the guy on who's been through the exam and can share some of his experience of it with us. So hi, Ben. How are you? Good to have you back on the channel.
Hi, Peter. Yeah, no, it's great to be here. And yeah, just to add, it's the SC-200. It's been an interesting exam, certainly for me to complete. And it just supports day-to-day activities, as you know. So yeah, it's a good one. Definitely one that's one of the trickier ones out of the SC series. But yeah, nonetheless, probably one of the meatier ones that we could dive into some good topics.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it and learning some new stuff along the way. So the format for this series, we're going to do hopefully some short, punchy video content, and Ben's going to share his screen and take us through some of the topics. So with that said, without any further ado, Ben, what is our first topic? Would you set the scene for us and then share away and we can get cracking?
Sure. So the first topic, following the study guide, is configuring alert and vulnerability notification rules within the Microsoft Defender XDR portal. This is where you can set up them alerts if something goes south, basically, something goes wrong, and who needs to know? This is what you configure. There are some prerequisites, or certainly some things that need to be considered during if you're deploying this for real. You need to obviously check the Microsoft documentation, perform that due diligence, make sure that your licenses are where you need to be to configure some of these things. But for alert notifications, there's only a handful of things that we need to consider, and the Microsoft documentation is pretty good at calling those out. So we'll get that screen shared now.
Yep, got that. There we go.
So now you can see we're logged into the Microsoft Defender portal. All the options, all the menus expanded, but the one that we truly need is down under the Settings tab, Endpoints, and under the General tab, we'll have email notifications, and you can see here that we've got alerts and vulnerabilities. Those are there to create a point of demarcation. You can have alerts from your endpoints, whether that's an ongoing attack, someone's tried accessing a website they shouldn't. Insert many of the different kinds of alerts that you can receive, and also the vulnerabilities piece. If you're licensed for that, you can then start targeting and emailing out. If you're one guy or one team, then it may be that these go to the same people, but in larger organizations, obviously you can imagine that multiple rules will go to different people. But in general, under the alerts tab, if we add new notification rule, I mean, a lot of this is going to be self-serve, self-sufficient. It's going to ask you what you need, but for all intents and purposes, we'll call it EDR notification. Select next. Now, in this, you may have organizational names and stuff you want to include. This is a bit of where you could just configure the alert and what it looks like. We'll leave these. Probably pertinent to include device information. If we hover over the little eye, it'll tell us what we're going to see. Like I say, depends on what you need. We're setting for all devices here, but we're going to then target the severity. So what do you really want to know? And what I would say throughout this is that we'll, in later videos or earlier videos, depending on the ordering, Sentinel will come into play, alerts will come in from that. Now you can sync those. And the reason why I'm kind of discussing that is that you need to be. I would be concerned, careful. Think about how you want to receive these, because you can receive some. There in common practice, if you're managing a large environment of 1,000 endpoints or so, or even less, and you're really unlucky and you're getting a lot of these notifications, you receive alert fatigue. You'll put automation in place to automatically close those things and not necessarily review them. Some things might come under that low to medium tag that actually you do want to look at, because it might be the start of something. So when you configure your alert severity, just have in mind that on this particular rule, it may fire quite a bit, and just have that in the back of your mind. You don't want alert fatigue, because alert fatigue leads to, well, human error. We'll put it down as human error. That's how we'll put it down. So probably anything medium or high, but like I say, you could have multiple rules that configures it and sends it to different places. If you've got an automation tool that will be able to read the email or triage that beforehand, or you've got a bunch of L1s in the help desk and you want to send up everything, then fine. But be concerned that this may get noisy and you need to be careful. So we'll just do for medium to high. Next, recipient email address. So this will be contact within 365 or whoever deals with your alerts. So for here, Peter, what's your email for the tenancy?
Mine will be peter.rising at, and I've got so many domains in here. I think I'm peter.rising at peterrisingm365.com. M365.
And I mean, at this point, we could add anything in here. I mean, we could add my domain name in, which I should have just done in the first place, to be fair. If I can type, that is, and we can add that.
So these can go anywhere. There you go. So it doesn't have to be someone within this tenant. Gotcha.
Yeah, and I think the point that it can go to anyone. So in an MSSP environment or an MSP environment, it may be that you have someone, like say you have someone in that first line triage role where you don't see any of those first line tickets. So you could select informational, low, medium, high, and then just ping it directly to that service desk email and allow them to triage it if they've got access. And I mean, that's another conversation which throughout, I'm not sure in the SC-200 actually covers MSP or MSSP scenarios, but it's also a consideration. Offshoring is a hot topic, I think, collectively across the IT spectrum at the moment. And yeah, it could be that, and it's not uncommon actually in any organization that somebody else deals with their IT. So yeah, it could go anywhere at this point. And final stage, it just replays back what we set in the rule. And yeah, I think, well, Peter, you're not going to get it, maybe. I'm not sure if I fudged you to main name there. We might have got it right, but we'll submit it anyway. Yeah. And at this point, we've configured our EDR notification. And like I say, it won't necessarily just be EDR notifications. You can tailor this from those informational, low, medium, high events. And click done. Page refreshes, and our nice notification rule now sits there.
Amazing. Nice and simple.
Super simple.
So that is our first topic, done and dusted then.
Definitely. Yeah.
Fantastic. Right. A nice, quick and easy one to start with. Ease us into this exam guide series. So I like nice, easy starts like that, Ben, but I imagine it's going to get a little bit more intense than that as we go through this study guide.
It's going to get interesting when we get to the KQL bits, but that's spoilers. That's spoilers, so we won't go there yet.
Spoiler territory.
Yeah, maybe we should like, spoiler alert, flash it up and some sirens or something like that. The KQL bit will get interesting.
Cool stuff indeed. Well, thank you for that first demo of what is going to be many in this series. We'll wind up this first video right there. And as ever, I'm going to ask you all to give a great big thumbs up if you've enjoyed the content. I don't see why you wouldn't if you're here to learn SC-200. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. That helps me to grow the channel and get the video content out there to a wider audience as well. Hit the notifications bell as you do so. We'll wind things up there, and we'll see you in the next video on this series very, very soon. Thank you, Ben. We'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.